already confirmation before I even get started. So I guess Archangel Raphael says, I like the topic. This channel message is for the divine masculines this time. So divine feminists gotta talk. And this time it's the message for the divine masculines. I'm gonna say, can we talk? You're thinking that the divine feminine doesn't want you anymore. This is inspired by me watching a reading. I think her name is Divine Maverick, that Kathy D had suggested me watch. And something about that line in her reading, she was saying that you're scared to approach and you're still staying in the karmic situation because you think that the divine feminine is around here acting like she's single and that she's on her own grind and that she doesn't want you. She's not even thinking about you. So why approach it? Leave her alone. Let her stay right where she's at. So divine masculines, let's have a very honest and open discussion. And I can speak semi for the from the viewpoint of the divine feminine. So that, let's look back in over the course of the relationship. Let's remember both parties and both issues and both actions and reactions that had been applied or put in the relationship. Some of the things that have happened has been out of reaction of what the divine masculine, has done. Some of the things is from also what the divine feminine has done too. I don't want you to go into with that premise of thought of saying, why should I even try? Because when you say something like that to me, divine masculine, it's saying to me that you're not looking at the overall picture about the whole totality of it. You're going into it looking with that part focus, tunnel vision, and you're looking through it through pain. But you're not looking at it from the eyes and lens of love. And there's also some self-worthiness there as well. No matter what the divine feminine is showing you, out of all of the feminines that you have dealt with, she is the most unconditional, most forgiving out of all of the feminines that you have dealt with. The tactics that you had used in order to get the other feminines that's out there should not be applied to you being in this relationship with the divine feminine. You're approaching that mindset and philosophy and ideology from a point of view that relies upon things that had happened in the past with past relationships. Now, if you would look at it from the point of view of from your heart, which I know is a new, for some of you all, is a new way of thinking or a new way of doing things, thinking through from your heart space, you would truly get an understanding that there's a connection there that might be unexplainable, but there's a connection there nonetheless, no matter what is being shown in the 3D. Confirmation. What you need to do is to sit down at this point, if that is what you're saying, and really ask your heart, do I really want this person? And if you sit down and you're honest with yourself and your answer from your heart is yes, then from that point on, it doesn't matter if it's hell or high water, you should be making your steps intentionally and purposeful for getting your divine feminine back or getting with them. Now, yes, is it going to be easy? No. Will you might be met with some pushback? Yes. But each time when you are met with pushback from your divine feminine, you should be thinking about, you know what, as the song Tank said, I deserve. Yes, I did do something, and I do understand that. They tell in counseling, now, sorry, I had a phone call. In this deserving, let's not go to the point that we're beating ourselves up and we go almost into the divine feminine energies, which is that pain, going into our pain body or emotional body, and just letting that stop you. But my thing is to get to the point that you are honest with yourself and you're acknowledging your part that you played. Because again, you have to remember this is your other counterpart, and they too are able to sense when you're not coming there with your authentic self. I say this a lot on my channel. You're authentic. You want to do things with authenticity, integrity, and fidelity in everything that you're doing. And so this is something, because you had not been shown that before, this is something that you've got to move in and do it again. Now, in psychology, they always say that you'll find yourself, when you've done something to a person, you're going to have to find yourself over and over again, maybe in some cases, not all, repeating back over again to show your trust or apologizing for what you had done. Now, you're going to have to do is just like the Bible says, 70 times 7. You have to keep on doing it until that you have their trust. You cannot get to the point and say, oh man, she should know by now. You got to remember that the feminine is not coming from a place of like the masculines. Masculines, you all are very good in that. Something happens, you all can drop it, move on for it, and act like did nothing happen. Divine feminine energies, and a feminine period rather, there are divine or just a regular Josephina. My thing is that they're not going to be able to move, some of them, that quickly. Now some of them might, they could say, hey, let bygones be bygones. Others might move into the energies of saying, you know what, I'm not trusting. A lot of the readings, I know myself and other readers, even Jupiter 1111 and other ones that I have seen, there's going to be some, divine feminine saying, okay, you're here now. Have you truly learned? And it's going to be show and tell time. That you've got to show and prove that you are. And there's going to be moments that, you'll find yourself kind of may want to slip back into your old ways. But then you've got to kind of go back to yourself and say, you know what? When I did it that way, did it really give me any kind of results when I was in that kind of energy or in that vein? No. It got me where I was, which was in separation from the one that I truly loved. This is something that you've got to get into understanding, that this is truly a lesson not only for the divine feminine of forgiveness of herself for being in the situation, forgiveness of you, of allowing you to do whatever you did, X, Y, and Z. But then you too, just like a mirror, have got to get to the point that you are forgiving yourself for what you had done to the divine feminine, and in turn are also forgiving calling. Who is that? And two, you're forgiving yourself and you're forgiving them for maybe the reactions that they actually have about the situation. Let me see. I know the divine masculines in some ways, and I've talked about this on yesterday, that you're not the bad guy. And understanding it also at some point that you have done some things. You've had some things. I thought about the song, even patches. That's what I was trying to remember. And the world has put so much of responsibilities on you, on such a gentle soul, such a gentle heart, such a beautiful heart, that it takes a lot to take all that unlayering over and to be vulnerable and to be okay. In the world that has templated you and put you in a cookie cutter or on a hamster wheel that says you got to run the race a certain way. This is makes you even be scared even on your own to be vulnerable and to really be able to show that beautiful heart that you actually have. But your divine feminine knows that heart. Excuse me. And that's the heart chakra movie. And also understands your heart. And even throughout all the stuff that you have been shown or done or learned out of patterning, out of your environment, she still could reach what's the actually template or blueprint of your actual heart. You've got to trust that divine masculine. Now, what is the action that you need to take on from this point on? You need to trust and ask yourself that. But my thing is, if you are in those karmic situations that is still you feeling like I'm just going to stay here, I don't want to hurt them, I don't want to hurt the children, the divine feminine, I don't think I want to get out of this, that I'm hurting, I want to escape from this, but what I'm going to escape to what? I don't know if my divine feminine is going to be there. You divine masculine, they bring it to me, should not worry about the end result. Like I tell the divine feminines, don't worry about the end result. You worry about you having a space and a place in which you are free to express yourself. You have not done anything in your life that has made you to deserve to be in a situation that you feel that you are emotionally, sexually abused and manipulated. It doesn't matter how bad you have. You've done some things, but at the same time, nobody deserves to stay in those type of situations. And that's in all the readings I'm saying. It's a theme. Either they're saying your addictions, or you being sexually, or you mentally, or you being abused verbally by your karmic feminine or the third party energies, or either karmic situations, period, right? It's a person, place, or thing. Don't let you create your own self-imposed prison when they're showing me like actually the prison doors are actually open. All you got to do is push. And you sitting there saying, but they told me I got to serve my time. And it's like I hear God say, who told you that? Who told you that? Jesus Christ already has served your time as far as sin. Sins went from metaphysical means. For my metaphysical beliefs means you missed the mark. You misunderstood. You messed up. You made a mistake. That's already been paid for. Mistakes is for you to learn from, not for you to be there and to stay there and be imprisoned by. I made a boo-boo. Okay, all right, get up like a child. You see a little baby. Sometimes they fall down, they hit, and they go, okay, and they walk because they understand the concept of it. Okay, I made a boo-boo, now get up and let's keep it rolling. And then promise yourself from that point on, next time when it happens, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do what I can to make up for that. But that doesn't mean for you to stay in that wallowing. Some of you all in this self-imposed prison, and Spirit and Sources said we have opened the door. The gates of the jail is open. You the one that's staying there. We ain't never locked you up in there. Now I was watching and listening to another one, and she was talking about how, whether you believe it or not, past lives and karmic ties, some things of past lives. For me, and I know everybody's different because I know Kurt from Twin Flame All Star says there's those things as soul contracts or karmic contracts or past lives and all that stuff that's got to do with this journey. And Spirit brought to me while I was in the washroom. I know Ethereal, she's cracking up laughing, saying, you understand, everybody creates their own universe. Everybody in their own way creates their own laws that's governing them. Although there's the governing laws that's placed on us by source, but on top of us, while we're living in our own universe, we create our own little set of laws and rules and things and sets and standards that we go by. Now, in the universe that I govern and that I believe, because my beliefs help to make it real that's in the universe, I do believe in past lives. So I believe also whatever your universe and what things that you resonate on, you make it so. And so that's how whatever things manifest according to what's going on in your universe. You are the you in your universe. And that's why they always show me that there's like I'm the sunshine and everything else revolves and planets around my solar system. So in understand, I said, okay, thank you. Okay, Granny Pod. Okay, so maybe my grandma is guiding. So everybody's universe is different. That's why you find out which one's universe and things of gravitational pools that you are gravitated to as far as readers. I do believe in that, and so I believe that some of these divine counterparts are influenced by karmic karma that has been placed in other lifetimes. And some of this stuff that's going on now has nothing to do with what you have done in this lifetime. Some of you are, when you have passed and crossed over, had said, you know what, I want another go at this. Because again, when you pass over, you lose this, the meat suit as some people call it, which I call it the vehicle. And your essence, like they said, I was watching, I think his name Bruce Lipton was saying how on the outside, and if I misquoted about that we always talk about we're human beings having a spiritual experience. And he explained it is like our spirit is on the outside and we direct the information to our body. So it's almost like a puppet, like say, I'm your puppet. So spirit is up here conducting everything that's happening in your body. Like right now, they're telling me what to do. Do the hands, do this, that, say this. And this is why I'm getting that constant stream of information coming in from my higher self, and which is conducting everything else. So when this is over with, this body is, I still, myself, the essence of who I am, still reigns. It still lives. I try to tell that to other people that I call it the regular Joes that's not in the spiritual walk like you and I. And that concept is like, ooh, that's a little kind of deep, I have friends that loved ones that passed on, and I was telling them, they just still talking to you, and they say that spooked them out. And I was like, why would that be? Because they're spirit. We're in all, we're spirit. We're not human beings, we're spirits. And or energy, or whatever it is, high frequency energies that you want to put there. And when this is over with, you kind of make a decision as to, and I again, because I talk to dead people. There's a thing of a life review. They sit there and you go through your whole life and you talk about what things that you had seen yourself. And your guys are just there sitting there with you, and you making decisions like, stop, okay, let me look at that over again. Okay, I could have did that a little better. Okay, okay, stop. Okay, I could have did that a little bit better. So you walk it through all your lives things. Some of them get to a point that they're saying, okay, okie dokie, that right there, I know I could have did that chunk of life better. Now, if I had a chance to do that situation all over again, I would did X, Y, and Z. So you get to that point, you do that. This is what I know, and they're telling me it's some more facets. They say, but I got one facet of what's being, which is true. So it's some more to it. So they look at that and they say, okay, well, you know what? I could have did that better. I kind of want to do a do-over. I want to do life over again, and I want to have that scenario and that situation right there to be done over again. So then you come back and you make the decision and say, okay, I'm going to come back this time. I think I still want to be a woman. I still want to be African American. but I want to do that scenario over again. Okay, at that point, you have made agreement with your spirit or your soul at that point to come back again and to do that again. So it's not like a contract, because you could come down here and you can say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But see, your soul is like, that's where that free will is. Like, well, nah, I don't think so. I think I learned it, because again, you get down here, Earth is a teachable planet, and you get down there, energies get heavy, you forget. The things you over time. But see, your soul knows, your spirit knows that ain't what we signed up for. Although you saying, well, I think I don't need to do that, I'm kind of cool with where I'm at. It still is imprinted in your spirit or your soul that you want to do, got confirmation that you want to do X, Y, and Z, because you said you wanted to do that with such passion that it imprinted on your heart, which is where your soul is resonated at, that is what you wanted to do. Now, some of them, back to the divine masculines, and I know we know divine masculines, we know the divine feminines is watching this, right? We know this. So some of you all are finishing up and wrapping up some things that have been karmically, that from other lives that you say, I want to get finished with. Now, some of them, I can tell from my divine masculine, you're still playing out, because that resonated. Anything that presses on your heart, good, bad, or indifferent, is there. Some of you all inside, if you're going by that, what I'm talking about, in my belief, or you could say theory, you're still playing out old templates from the other past lives, okay? You can take it if some of you say, I don't believe in that. You all still playing templates of something that resonated in your heart from past experiences, from past relationships, things and lessons that you learned. So some of you are still resonating off of that old programming. Whether it's past lives, past experience, or whatever it is, those influences, those factors, those variables, just like a mathematical problem. So now you apply that now. So some of you all are playing it out. It's got to get out your system. It's got to get out your heart. It's got to get out your soul. Then you start moving into saying, you know what? Excuse me, got to release something. I got to release something. You're moving into the energies of understanding that I came down here for something, and that lesson starts coming up. Like, okay, this look real familiar. You're doing the same thing like you did in that other time. Now let's choose to make a different choice. Let's do something else. That is what that concept, back again, and I haven't played on that again, that dojo situation, what the karma comes from. We didn't make karma to be a bad word. We didn't say karma is a bitch. So now we done made it bad. It's not that. Karma, again, is a lesson. It's something that has not been learned, that again, that continuously comes back again, so you can get a re-chance for you to learn it again. So in doing that, it turns into a dojo situation. Dojo situation is, man, I must be really cooking with gasoline, because Raphael getting them calling. Oh, that's my brother. Okay, so you move from that energy of understanding that it moves to a dojo situation, which means you're in that situation to help you to learn the way you're supposed to be going. That's why it turns into a dojo situation, okay? From karma to dojo. For you to be able to learn the way to get out of that. This is where you at. So again, those things, thank you, Archangel Raphael, that divine masculine, that you in energies, that is not for you to stay there forever. Like they say, trouble don't last always. It comes for a reason and it comes for a season. This is for you to take that now and for you to move on. You got the lesson. That's to graduate. You don't want to be a perpetual or sophomore or freshman in high school. It's time for you to move up to college. It's time for you to graduate. You don't want to be 21. What's that movie? I think it was Something High. And it was Ice Cube in there. And they was in college forever. And everybody's talking about, dang, you was in here when my mama was. When you going to graduate? Because it's so good. You've got to, these lessons come so you can be able to move on and apply what you have learned from the other experiences, past lives, this lives, whatever lives, and to be able to kind of move on from there. Okay? This is where you got to move from. This is where you got to understand. Okay? Divine Master, I know this is a little long. Y'all like it kind of choppy this. But I feel we had to kind of go over the totality of why you've gotten to this point and where you need to get off the pot and move on. You don't, just like you use the washroom. You defecate, you let it go, but you don't stay on there and say, well, I'm staying on here till the next time. It's time for you to get off the pot. So, you didn't release and let it go in that situation. You've learned your lesson. And if that right now, Spirit, through all the readers, because I like to watch for trends, all of us are saying it's overripe. The time and the season is now. Now, afterwards, you take you some time. You say, I don't feel like I'm quite ready, but I do know the phase is I want to get out of this. I want to go kind of repair myself and get myself strengthened and ready for me to meet my divine feminines. I say, fine. I say, take your time. Get to that point where you feel that you're strong enough. But my point is, don't do another sit and wait and say, it ain't time, I'm waiting, because I know how the masculine thought process is too. You know, you want looking for that perfection. I don't want to just do it just right. You know, I want to have something to present to her. You know, last time I had no money. You know, and so now this time, you know, it was funny. So I don't want to come to her the same way I am. Now, okay, work on that. You know, last time I had a little problem with infidelity. You know, I was looking at everybody XYZ, and I want to kind of get that out of my system before I go to her, because when I do that, I know that's it. That's locked down. I'm gonna be happy about it. Okay, didn't do that. But my thing is still at the end of the day, the premise is you got to get back to your divine feminine. Okay. I'll tell you, just like my dad said, always I can use his example. You can keep on playing around and skipping around what you're supposed to actually do, because I'm going to wrap up after this. And Spirit will still have a way of pushing you to where you have to go. My dad, he did his thing. Spirit told him to kind of get back in the fold with my mom. He didn't after separation. He still found ways to still be connected to us. He thought in his mindset he was doing what he was supposed to do, because he still was coming from a premise of scared, and it took him for him to kind of lose his health, for him to get pushed into him actually coming back to be with my mom. And by that time, when he was ready to be able to say, okay, I want to do it, the damage has been done to his body. He couldn't recover back from that. The spirit was willing, but the flesh wasn't. The flesh said, I can't, it's too late. So my thing is now he has to kind of work on settling their relationship from where he is on the other side to where she is now. That's not a place you want to really go to. Life is too short. You don't know what tomorrow may bring. And a lot of you all are coming from this mindset, well, I got time, she's going to wait. And like I said, who knows what might happen. You don't want to get to that position that health does something to you. Way times are again. We know we're spiritual, you know, that part is. But my dad, him still being divine, and it still got that. You know, this universe is governed by other laws. And you still have things that happen here on the earthly plane and on the spiritual. That's why you got two different levels and dimensions, 5D and 4D and 3D. So my thing is you could say our love is eternal, but again, the meat suit or the body ain't. Man, Raphael, I must be amening on everything. You back again. I don't know. She must be doing something. Okay. So I'm getting clarification, confirmation all over the place. So remember that, because I pick up and I tapped into my DM. It's like, you know, we got, yes, our love is eternal, but you're trying to apply this to a human experience. And that it's, you got two dimensions and two conflicts there. That's why they're saying about right now with these energies, want this duality, bring it together. Yes, it's eternal, but we're still having a human experience. And I got to bring those two energies together. I hope you understand that, because I know with the masculine energies, you got to talk analytical and it can't be really all that spiritual. Thank you. But understand that, again, the human, this is a human body, this is a human experience. And you're letting really the spiritual, that's why I'm picking up. I'm thinking that's the issue. You picking up, and within you, it's eternal. It's going to live forever. But remember that the body doesn't. So time is of the essence. I'm sure George Floyd believed that he was going to live forever, and that him and his girlfriend, or whoever his significant other, and the baby girl was, he's going to be here to see her get married and blah 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 blah. But then at the same time, his spirit knew that ain't what I came here for. I'm glad I left my legacy here. I'm glad my legacy is for this. Is for it to bring acknowledgement and attention and focus to the racism in the world, across the world, that needs to stop, especially when it comes to the brown skin. So you got to think about that. George Floyd brings attention to the male that no matter what, you're not as invincible as you think you are. I'll leave you on that note. If you're interested in doing the InstaReading, please go to my divineunisoul's11.co. There is a InstaReading is where you can pick a solution. I have 4 solutions and 7 scenarios. You do the combination, you see which one matches up, and you get an InstaReading. It downloads a reading by me right there to you. At any time of the day, 24 hours, you can get a reading at any time that you want. So check that out to see. You could get it. It's $7 for the situation and $4 for the solution. You could do any combinations, or you could just do it a la carte because of that thing. Look into that. And if you're interested in joining the support group as well, especially this Friday, we're going to have in our support group a summit, and we're going to talk about the divine masculine energies, and we're going to talk about how within the group, what can we as divine feminines and divine masculines do in order to energies to be able to help out this great divide that we have even in our twin flame community when it comes to the divine masculine energies. So make sure if you're interested in doing that, it's just $22.22. We meet Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I just opened it up. So any day that you could join in, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. And you get readings, you get master class. We have support, we have accountabilities. I give you activities to work on and homework to work on the next one. It's a very great program to be a part of. All right, then. This is long. I got to smash both of these things together, but I think we need to have this talk of this subject really needs in the divine feminists, although we know they was listening. And I said this for the divine masculines. They needed to hear it too. Okay? All right, then. On the behalf of all the divine feminines, we love you. We see you. We know some of you all, the struggle that you're in. We feel your pain. We do. And really, we are like I tell my divine masculines, we are still, no matter what, your biggest and greatest fans. I tell my, she's like, yeah, what? Yeah. Yes. Still your greatest fan. No matter how it looks on the outside, on the inside, well, you should hear your divine feminines talk about you, how much they just love you from, like I say, from your head to your toes. I got one that said, I just love them. I swear by God, I do. And that's the same way how I feel as well. Okay? Y'all gonna give me the crying. But I'm concerned. I am. You all can do better. You all can push. These divine feminines need you. Woo! They need you. So whatever it is that you can do, make that extra push and get off the pot. Okay? All right, until next time. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. I'm going to go. Love you.